Hi, good morning, everyone. This is our segment God First, and today we're going to share with you a devotion which you can use as a way to be guided in how you conduct your life whenever you're tempted to do something like take away more of your time so that you can devote it into gaining more wealth, gaining more money, or having more territory or more power rather than serving or worshiping God. So, in this instance, we'll be sharing how Jesus was tempted, and yet he was able to successfully move away from that temptation. So, let me share my slides with you. So, the title of our segment for today is Worship and Serve the Lord Only. Have you ever experienced a situation where you put less and less of your time into praying, communicating with God, reading the Bible, or serving Him because you wanted to earn more money. You wanted to have more material wealth. You wanted to enjoy life's comfort. And so you took away most of your time and devoted into something else and less time with God. So this is for you. No? So let me take you to a verse which will help us understand this more. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and he showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. So we're talking about devil, the Satan. And then he said, all this I will give you, he said, if you will bow down and worship him. Jesus said to him, away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Then the devil left him, and angels came and attended him. This is Matthew chapter 4, verse 8 to 11. The first thing that we need to understand is that once again, Satan was trying to raise himself up. He wanted to show that he had an upper hand, that he is more powerful. And he wanted to lure Jesus into bowing down to him and serving him. But Jesus said, worship the Lord your God and serve only him. Jesus was actually quoting from Exodus 20, verse 2 to 4. No, this was the verse where God gave his 10 commandments. And the first few verses that came out was, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them nor serve them. First of all, Satan was showing Jesus kingdoms of the world and the splendor. The splendor can be material wealth, all the gold things, the glittery things, which looks pleasing to the eye because it's material wealth. But these are carved things. These are part of the earth, which were created. And God said, don't worship and don't bow down and serve this. Satan wanted to replace God in the life of Jesus. He wanted to be the one to be served and to be worshipped because he had this ambition to overthrow God. But Jesus knew what his stand about who God is, and he knew that he was the only one who should be worshipped and bowed down to or served. It's very important that we should understand that Satan does not deserve to be worshipped. Satan does not own anything in this world. He doesn't own the kingdoms of all the world. He doesn't own the splendors of all the world, the gifts of all the world, simply because every good and perfect gift comes from the Father in heaven. And the writer in Revelations 4:11 reminds us that by showing us these verses, worthy are you, our Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power. For you created all things, and by your will they existed and were created. So it's very important to understand that only God has the power to create, and only God can make things exist in this world. And only because of those powers, Satan has nothing. Satan does not own anything in this world. And all the glory or the honor or the power or the worship and all the service belongs to God alone. The second point that we needed to understand, Jesus did not say that kingdoms and all splendor is wrong. But apart from God, not worshiping God and trying to get all these things, these are nothing. These things are empty. So how do we do that? How do we worship Satan? How do we worship the things that we have instead of worshiping God? Here's one example. When we give the primary moments of our life, when we give more time to pursue wealth, status, money, material things, we are already worshiping other things, thereby forsaking the Lord our God. When we begin to trust our riches, our wealth, our power more than we trust God in our lives, we are bowing down to Satan and serving him. How did Jesus turn away from all that? These are very few simple things, but very powerful. So first, he said, away from me, Satan. He commanded Satan to be away from him, to get away from him, to not be near him at all. So choose not to put more of your time or effort in gaining material wealth without God's hand or direction. Choose not to bow to Satan, not to serve him, but worship and serve God only. Why? Because according to the verses, he shows mercy to those who love him and obey his commands. Now, I hope that you've gained some wisdom in this devotion. And I hope that you will have a godly and a blessed day. Good morning.